Okay, so high school, you quarterback. When you went to college, now you were a linebacker in college, am I right?
Yes. I started out as an outside linebacker. Then I was in the weight room constantly, and next thing I know, I'm a middle linebacker. And Coach Rex Ryan was my linebacker coach at the time in Cincinnati. And it was a long pedigree of great coaching staff over there, the guys who are in the NFL now, who coach in the NFL. But Rex saw something in me, and he said, "Oh, you can be an outstanding linebacker." But we had an injury on our team, and it gave me an opportunity to really start because at the time I was starting behind an All-American. So I was backing up an All-American. So he said, "You want to get more opportunity to play?" I said, "Yeah." And moved to fullback, and that's how that transition was.
Have you had many serious injuries?
Yes, I had a few. Well, in high school, I tore my ACL, LCL, and everything. Ooh. The doctors told me I would never play football again. They said, "Your football career is over." This was when I was a junior in high school. And, I'm a man of God, and I come from a family that's full of faith. And my mother, we got the doctor's report. Whose report will you believe? And
Amen.
Got the doctor's report, and then the next day we went and got a second opinion. And the doctor said, "No, I don't see that. All we need to do is strengthen his hamstrings and quads."
Okay.
Wow.
So, I have a question. I got to ask him this question. I'm sorry. I'm skipping along a little bit. You run now a camp here on Long Island.
Yes.
And that's
Camp 41 Elite Training Institute.
Okay. And that's where?
It's all over the island.
Okay.
It's Deer Park based, but I go everywhere. So it's pretty successful. I've been doing it for 10 years now almost.
So like the colleges talk to you about some of these guys?
Just recently, my most recent success is a guy that I've been working with for the past 7-8 years from Walt Whitman High School, Tyreek Burwell, and he now plays with the San Diego Chargers. He's starting left tackle.
There we go.
That's cool. Website. What's the website for that? People want to get involved.
Camp41eti.com. Instagram is camp_41, and Twitter is at camp41_eti.
Okay.
There we go. So you guys can follow him on social media if you want to stay in touch with him and all the guys that he's training. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, all the football fans do. We just had the NFL Combine, and we're getting ready for the draft. Now, Jason, you went undrafted, am I right?
Yes.
Now, I'm not a football savant, so to speak, but I know to be an undrafted player, to make it to a team, that doesn't happen all that often, am I right?
It's very rare. It's tough. It's, like being a walk-on at a university. It's the tough road, but there's a lot of guys out there that do it. So you have to persevere. You have to be strong-willed and determination to go after it and fulfill your dreams.
So you went undrafted. You got contacted by the 49ers.
Yes.
And you went over there. You were there for all of training camp. You were there for all of preseason. And then after the last preseason game, right before they made the 53-man roster, you got cut. Am I right?
Correct. It was the first of many. Yes, I went there. Like I said, my road has been tough. Got an opportunity. Draft day is extremely stressful. If you guys may or may not know, but you're talking about a kid who all he's done his whole life is play football, and then here it is. You're gonna tell him it's over. Either you just do or die. So, but the draft was over. I didn't get drafted. A lot of my teammates did, and I remember going upstairs and I was in tears in the shower. And then next thing I know, I get a phone call from the 49ers, and who is it? One of my childhood, famous athletes, Tom Rathman, who used to play for the 49ers. And here he is. He's calling me. He says, "We want you." So
wow.
So I go. And thank you, Jesus. And I go, and you get there, and you're enamored by the whole 49er way and the gold helmets and Steve Young and the whole mantra of everything, and it's fascinating. But then it comes to reality real quick, because you're like, I'm not going to be here long if I don't do what I'm supposed to do.
Right.
So, like you were saying that being undrafted is not easy because these guys are getting paid a lot of money, those drafted players, and most of the time, and I hate to say this, I mean it is a business, but those drafted players get a little more leniency as far as being able to mess up and do different things. So they invest in these guys and they give them the money, so they have a little more chances than someone like myself. So here I am, go through camp. Now, a lot of times the team is already picked going into training camp. And I hate to say that also, but there may be 10 roster spots available for somebody to make the team, special teams or different things. And it is a violent game, so the injuries do occur at times. But here I am. They brought me in basically as a camp body just to practice. But they didn't know who they were bringing in.
Tell them.
I went and I remember the last day. We were in Denver, and it was the last preseason game, and I was doing everything that I was supposed to do. And Tom Rathman, my running back coach at the time, says, "Hey, listen, you can really play in this league." He's like, "You have an ability to play in the league." At one point, it was awesome to say, wow, I can't believe this is a guy I've been watching as a kid telling me this. But then I didn't read the underlying thing after that because the next day I was on the first thing smoking back to New York. So I was cut.
So you were so close to making that route, so close to your dream, and then you got cut, and you went back to New York, and you became a janitor at Half Hollow Hills West, right?
Yes, very humbling experience.
I'm sure.
I'm all about hard work. I'm all about training, and I still do it to this day. You're not going to tell me no because I know who my God is, but and what He has planned for me, despite whatever the circumstances or the environment may be. So I go and I come back home. I said, you know what? I'm going to go out here. I'm going to work. I'm going to train hard. I had my daughter was just born a year or two before that, so I take care of my family, and however I can get it. So I work out in the morning, and then at night I work from 3 to midnight at the high school. Now most people would say, well, why would you go back there? It was an opportunity for me to work nights, and here I am with, they have my jerseys hung up, they have my pictures all over the place, and it's a trying and humbling experience because here you are, you're there, now you're back, you're in the NFL just a week ago, and now you're back at home mopping floors, sweeping up, and then kids can be cruel at times. Because and I say this because I'm there in the cafeteria sweeping up, and one of these kids who knew my situation takes his chocolate milk and throws it at me and says, "Hey, clean this up."
Oh,
jeez. And part of me, the flesh in me wanted to body slam,
rip his head off.
But I just let it go, and I went back in the gym. But that was very humbling.
Right. But eventually you did get that call.
Yes. Months later, I was still in contact with the 49ers, and they gave me an opportunity to come back, and that's what I did.
So looking at next February, who's the Super Bowl champions?
Oh, you don't know. You don't never know. It's tough to say. Every year it's different injuries and who's.
Okay.
The teams are never the same each year.
Who do you like playing for better?
Baltimore.
Ravens. The Ravens. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it wasn't the Orioles. So I try. I definitely try. So can I just share what happened before you came here today? Is that allowed? Okay. So we got a call about, 3 hours ago, maybe, around there. His mom just went to the hospital tonight, and he's still here today. So make sure you pray for him. What's your mom's name?
Gay.
Okay. Oh, I know her. Yes. Okay. From the past.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Tell her I said hello.
Oh, I will definitely.
Okay. Very good. Please do that.
I will.
Did I know you back then?
You probably did. I mean, I've seen you before many times.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask you how old you are?
39.
Wow. You look young.
Thank you.
Much younger than I. So. He's physically fit. That's the difference.
That is the difference. He goes to the gym. He does not.
When I go to the gym, I go to the jacuzzi in the gym. That's what I do. I do not go on the machines. I don't know how to use them half the time. But anyway, is there anything you would like to add to this interview?
No, I'm just very thankful to give my testimony and to be here and share what God has done in my life, and perseverance and determination. Anything you want to do in life, you have to really put your mind to it, and don't allow the naysayers or any. There's always going to be somebody to tell you can't do something. Listen, I'm living something right now that people say I can't do. So, but because of my past and because of what I've already accomplished, I know that I can do it.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
you go from faith to faith, glory to glory.
What about the discrimination? Did you find much discrimination in the NFL towards men of faith?
Not at the time, because I wasn't as bold as I am now.
Okay.
But seeing guys like Tim Tebow and what they really did to him, you really see, wow. But God takes care of His people no matter what, and He did exactly what He was supposed to do. When He was given that platform. Ray Lewis is another guy who's powerful figure, and he used that platform for God's glory.
Awesome. I'm going to use somebody. I need a football person. Football. Okay, Tommy. We'll get Tom. Someone said Tom. Tom, okay. He's safe. Just go right over there. Don't worry, I'm not going to embarrass you. This is easy. I just want you, obviously it's not going to be far, but just throw the ball to Tom.
Hey.
Okay? Let's take a pass. There we go. There we go.
Hey.
There you go. Okay. Okay, so let's please give it up for Jason Isom. Thank you for coming down. Appreciate it. Thank you, Jason. Thank you. Interesting fellow.
Good fellow.
Very good fellow. I wouldn't want to mess with him.
When he said that he's bold now, let me tell you, he's bold now. So
that's going to be exciting. Hey, so we're wrapping up this show, but I do want to announce at the end, we have, like 2 minutes left of this show, I think. It's about 2 minutes. We're working on a deal for this program and some other programs to be on a network. The entertainment lawyer said it's a go, which is exciting. And you'll be able to watch it. Over 30 million people will be able to watch this. So we're going to have to tighten some things up, but over 30 million people will be able to watch it on the network, and we'll tell you the name of the network and where to go very soon, okay? Eddie Backus, we're going to go take it back to you, and we're going to have the second show coming up here in a second. We have a little bit of a half an hour break. It will be a half an hour, trust me, if not sooner. Yeah. And please get coffee and teas and hot chocolates. And I think, Samantha, you want to come up here too, right? Yeah, let's do it now. So this is Samantha, the owner of Samantha's Little Bit of Heaven, and I think it's important we honor her.
Oh, good to sit with you.
She is the true local legend of Samantha.
Welcome, everyone. I think we both feel that we kind of same embryo, different womb.
Yes.
We're very, very similar in a lot of different ways. And we're so excited that you're here tonight. And I think my biggest thrill was seeing Diana. So it was such a blessing for me. She works for a place for moms and really, really helped me out. So that was my whole, focus. Of course, loved the show and everything, but just really wanted to meet you in person. I'm thrilled. This is wonderful and just great to hear Jason's story and everything. And you're doing such a great job. Isn't he a natural?
Well, I love you very, very much.
Thank you.
Very much. So thank you. She makes this happen, Without the building, we can't make
My
this happen.
blessing.
So appreciate it. But we also got to thank Eugene in the back. He does
Yes.
video and sound. And Isaac Rodriguez over here.
Isaac. Thank you,
sound.
We have
Danielle
Bob,
Mayers over here, production assistant. Robin as well, the Eddie Backus Band, and all of you. Well, thank you very much. So I'm just going to give this to Samantha for a little bit, and I'm going to rearrange for part 2.
I'm really standing on the red carpet.
It's Oscar night. It is Oscar night tonight.
It is Oscar
So
night.
you are the
I'd rather
true
be
star.
here. So thank you. He's doing such a super job. Thank you. I also want to thank a Little Bit of Heaven's volunteers that are giving of their time on a Sunday night. I couldn't do one thing without them. We are all volunteers actually here, so it's a labor of love for all of us. But a Sunday night, we're kind of dragging. It's always a long week. We're open pretty much every night. So thank you to wonderful volunteers, Despina and Deirdre and Susan Shea behind the counter. We appreciate you. Before we take that break, I would love to pick from the pink slips that you filled out, give away some gift certificates for you to enjoy another evening here on a Friday or Saturday night. Although it's always free admission Sunday through Thursday. We have all different events. Of course, I'm sure you saw the calendar. There's never a boring night here. There's always something to do. But on Friday and Saturday night, we have live Christian music, and we have squeaky clean comedy. And squeaky clean means you can bring your great-grandma and you can bring your great-grandchildren. You never have to be embarrassed. So, but you know what? I kind of felt, I'm getting a feeling here. Okay, I think she's going to get over there to the other end. Thank you, Bob. It seems there's a lot of Italians here tonight. Am I correct in that? Well, we have an amazing... Oh, you want to pick the winners for me? We have an amazing one-man show called The Class of Life. Has anybody here ever seen The Class of Life? It is an outstanding show about growing up Italian. And it features a retired policeman who wrote the story of his life. He goes back about 5 or 6 decades, and he pretty much covers everything. And he had heard about Little Bit of Heaven for many years. We heard about him. I never had a night off to go, and he didn't have any footage for me to see. So finally he called one night and he said, what would it take for me to come there? And I said, you know something? I said, even though it does appear like we're a restaurant, it may all appear that. I said, we are a ministry, and I can't just put anyone up there. It needs to be squeaky clean. It needs to honor God, and it needs to be something about faith and respect. So he chose to promise me that there will never be a reason in any way for me to feel uncomfortable. He did the show on the first night. This show is now here once a month, every month for the last 24 months. I know Cheryl and Cindy saw the show. But anyway, when he did the show for the first night, he came up to me afterwards and he said, you know, Samantha, I know that you're not Italian, but were you still able to enjoy the show? I'm like, not Italian. Are you kidding me? After your show? I'm converting to Italianism. And I will be at your house on Sunday for macaroni and gravy. It is a comedy. It is a musical. It's a little bit of everything. If you're not Italian, you will love it. But if you're Italian, you'll be crazy over it. It's going to bring back a lot of memories of grandma and great-grandma and everyone else. So I'd like to give away some gift certificates for that. So it has a $15 value. It is on Friday, March 11th. If you do win... Please, we just encourage you. We hope you'll use it, but if you do win, please call ahead and make a reservation. It's always standing room only. We want to make sure that you have a seat. Rich Schlichting. Oh, congratulations. I hope you'll be able to make it. You will just love the show. So it's Friday, March 11th, Phyllis. Kim.